Today on Suncoast View, the St. Armand's Garage is underway, but at what cost? Plus, a surprising danger while flying has passengers concerned for their safety. We'll discuss.
We'll introduce you to another amazing Suncoast woman, a talented contemporary dancer who's making strides to energize Sarasota's Rosemary District.
And it's lights, camera, action right here on the Suncoast with a brand new action fantasy web series based here. We'll find out all about it, all that and more right now on Suncoast View. Welcome to the show, and welcome to Tracy Freeman of Edible Sarasota Magazine. Always nice to see you.
Hi, nice to be here.
You brighten up our Tuesdays.
Oh,
Thank you.
You look fabulous.
And so do you.
Thank you so much.
And you know what's nice too is that it's nice because I know how busy you are, so it's nice that you carve out a little time to be with us, because even though we are heading into summer, people think that things relax. The food scene does not.
It does not.
You
but
are
it's great to be
releasing-
here. I
you
love
have
being here with you guys.
The new issue of Edible Sarasota is almost out, right?
It's being printed.
Wow,
Oh.
as we speak, but here's a little preview, The Big Chill. We're gonna learn a little bit more about, we're gonna delve into this issue a little later on in the show, but I always love when the new issue comes out because I learn so many things that are going on in the community.
This
I
was
didn't
a
even
fun
realize.
one. I was really hands-on on this issue, so I had a
Oh,
great
what
time.
fun.
Yeah, producing it.
Oh, good. Well, I always see you're out in the community and you're seeing the different collaborations between chefs and other organizations and restaurants, so I get a lot of that info from you, so thank you.
Background information.
Yes.
Behind the scenes.
Well, we'll learn more about the issue a little bit later on, but we do want to talk about there is a great annual event coming up that Edible Sarasota and you are very much a part of. Formerly the Trash Fish Dinner, but now it has a different name. It's gone a little more upscale with the name. What is it called?
It is the Sustainable Seafood Dinner.
Yeah.
Much better.
People were a little put off by the word trash.
By eating trash.
So we've just kind of transformed the event, and we've got some fabulous restaurants and chefs involved and great new sponsors, so it's going to be one not to miss this year.
I went for the first time last year and had a ball. Give it just an idea of what the whole night is like.
The whole night is you walk in, you get your picture taken, you sample little small bites, fabulous cocktails, Ritz-Carlton's involved this year, and then you walk into a 5-course meal with a fabulous dessert and gift bags and all kinds of good stuff and great speakers.
And all fish, right? Seafood that has typically been discarded in the past because people didn't necessarily know what to do with it. Is that
That's right, and we have chefs like Stephen Phelps creating mullet into the most amazing thing you've ever tasted in your life. So
Oh, my.
it really is, it's a great opportunity for people just to try these fish that they really wouldn't order off a menu otherwise.
But
And
one
you
of the best
want
meals.
to try it from a chef first.
Sure, oh,
then
yeah.
before you do it yourself.
That's right, that's right.
And truly one of the best meals I had last year. It was
Oh.
delicious. I mean, every course just kept impressing. So
Well,
I
you
know
need to come again.
I already put in. I wanted to take the next day off because I was so full. But I know it sells out quickly. So even though it is not until August, you don't want to wait. You can get more information and tickets by going to ediblesarasota.com. And we'll learn more about the summer issue a little later on. But continuing with the culinary theme, we want to welcome who's in the kitchen today, Chef Brian from Vets to Success and Vets to Chefs. Welcome back, Chef. What are we making?
Thank you. Well, we're actually doing a play on a skinny scampi. And to me, everybody in the Suncoast watches that summertime beach body, but they still want that fun and flavorful food. So this is kind of like a fun fit food for the fun fit you, so you can have your cake and eat it too.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So I might have just coined that phrase. But no, it's going to be really fun. It's going to be different, but it's going to give you everything you love about shrimp scampi.
That's great.
This sounds awesome. You're looking good today.
Well,
you
know,
Uh-oh, did I cross the line?
Linda.
Am I allowed to tell
Well, we
Amanda
should
what's good?
say that Linda has some history with Brian. Chef Brian, who was
I
actually
do?
on our show before as a model with Goodwill.
Oh,
So
okay. You
as-
had me worried
Yes.
about my memory for a while there.
And as a veteran, you do a lot of work with Goodwill, but you also, Vets to Success is its own program. Tell us what the whole program's about.
Well, we started the program 4 years ago. I lost my brother to veteran suicide, and I had a really rough reintegration. I've seen a challenge of where veterans are needing identity. They need some passion in their lives and some purpose. And so we created a nonprofit called Vets to Success. And what that does is it gives passion and purpose through food and brew, and gives a veteran a sense of identity and a platform to kind of start learning about who they are and who they can be in the communities they love.
Oh,
That's wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. And we know how important it is getting people to work, getting people into a career or vocation is one of the best ways to combat any sort
To
of
make them feel good about
Yes,
themselves
happiness
and
or
like they do have
depression.
a place to belong.
Right, and you learn a craft, a skill set, and who doesn't love a good cook in the kitchen?
Exactly. Well, we keep trying to learn to cook in the kitchen, but we're going to learn a little bit more about Vets to Success later on in the show. Well, all right, it is Tuesday, which means last night was The Bachelorette. Now, we know that not everybody catches it on Monday nights. Some of you might, DVR it or record it to watch later. But our resident Bachelorette fan and Suncoast View producer, Kaylee Green, has been keeping us all up to date each week with the episodes. So no spoilers, Kaylee, but what were some of the highlights from last night?
So I think the big thing was that there was a 2-on-1 date, which is, if you don't know, The Bachelorette takes 2 guys on 1 date. And she ended up taking the male model Jordan and the chicken suit guy David, who we all know don't get along. And they ended up bickering like right in front of her. Like she was sitting in the middle and they were like meh, 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 meh. And she literally said, "I feel like I'm in middle school."
Oh.
So.
All right.
But there was a photographer right there when that passionate kiss.
Oh, yeah.
There were like 20 people with lights, cameras.
Oh yeah, it looks a lot
Dialogue.
more intimate than it really is.
Yeah.
Like many things in life.
Yes.
But what I love is that even though Kaylee is a fan, she still is pretty honest about her opinion about each week. So if you have not caught her recap, you can find it online. You can go to suncoastview.com and I feel like I'm learning enough about The Bachelorette by having her near us. Just enough, just enough.
I have to see what they look like.
There you go, there you go. All right, well, you'll want to check that out. Well, it is time for our first hot topic. And the St. Armand's parking garage is underway, but not without coming at a cost. The city broke ground last month on the new $15 million parking garage, and it's looking to be completed in December, just in time for holiday shopping. The garage will be 4 levels, 503 parking spaces, and will include restrooms. Parking will cost 50 cents an hour. The city is also planning to add parking meters around the rest of the area, ranging from 75 cents to $1.50 an hour. What do you think about adding paid parking on St. Armand's?
We are such fakers. What's 50 cents an hour? And yet I didn't pay to park downtown when the meters were downtown. I went up somewhere else. And it was like 25 cents, 50 cents an hour. So come on, we can shell out that 50 cents. I'm going to be one of those people first in line to park in that garage.
I mean, as someone who has spent the last several weekends driving around the circle trying to find parking to go to Lido Beach, there's a part of me that's happy for this because, listen, at one point I even said, I'll give someone a $10 bill. I just want to park and get to the beach. So, there's that theory that paying for parking does free up spots a little sooner.
Well, it adds 500, we know that.
Yeah.
So I think it will be a huge plus. Like you, I have gone home. I've gone out there to go shopping and I've gone round and around and just gotten disgusted and gone home. So I think it'll mean they have more traffic out there, but they can handle it.
Yeah, and the restaurants really need that
That's
parking.
a great point. That is a great point because there are some great restaurants on the circle and the last thing you want to do is miss out.
And I'd leave. I'd go somewhere else.
Yeah. So good. All right. So we're hoping good for business. We're hoping, and well, they're just breaking ground now, so we'll follow the parking garage as it goes. But more parking, paid or not, is good by me.
I hope you can use your credit card because carrying all those quarters is hard.
This is true. I don't carry cash or coins, so otherwise I'll be carpooling with Linda, and we'll be scrounging her ashtray
And we'll
for
ask
coins.
friends for a quarter.
There you go. All right. Well, it is a summertime, and here's a summer travel warning that you might not have considered. The FBI warns that sexual assaults on airplanes are on the rise, primarily on overnight international flights. Assaults range from strangers grazing other passengers, to all the way up to explicit acts. The assaults typically involve alcohol, a passenger who is asleep, or has taken a sleep aid. They say middle and window seats make you the most vulnerable. Have you ever thought about this? This was a complete shock to me. I almost had, Tracy, I shared the same reaction when I first heard this. I thought, no, this is
It's the
crazy.
word grazing
this
that
can't be
got me.
happening.
Grazing?
Oh, I wanted to ask what it was,
What's
but I was afraid
grazing?
it was really bad.
Touching, you know, like touching, I would assume a leg or a part of the body.
Because
you are in,
you didn't mean to
you
do
are in
that.
close proximity with people, and as they say, a lot of people will take a sleep aid to survive the flight, you know, and so they could be out. Did you even know this was a thing to
I
to
don't
be
know how
worried
it could
about?
happen. I would stand up and say, "Get your hands off." The whole plane would know what was going on.
That's what they are encouraging people to do, passengers to do, to try to raise awareness and stop the behavior. But apparently, a lot of people will, if they are the victim of any type of this attack, won't say anything because they're embarrassed, or they feel like it was somehow their fault, you know, because it's out in the open, but it's not out in the open.
Oh, I was coming out of the opera one night, and a homeless guy stuck his hand down my shirt, and I said, "Are you kidding me? I'm old enough to be your grandmother." And there was a whole group of people around us as I yelled at him, but I wasn't embarrassed. I thought I kept him from doing it again.
Well, have you ever been on a flight with someone who is obviously intoxicated? And the problem is that there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to take that person. They can move them. They can move someone who's being disruptive, but in a plane, you are, you're enclosed.
In that middle seat, too. Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And someone does always have a legitimate reason to stand up and walk over you.
Yeah.
So I just always, if someone's coming in the seat, I will always get up and get out. Not like I'm going to be grazing anybody, but I don't even want to be
just
put in a
makes it
situation.
easier,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, another thing to worry about, I guess, when we travel. All right, on a lighter note, there are a lot of rules in being a royal, as Meghan Markle is now learning. And those include what you can eat in public. The Queen reportedly does not allow the royal family to eat things with garlic while they're traveling. There is a practical reason, they say, to avoid bad breath. Shellfish is also not allowed on the road to ensure that food poisoning does not derail the royal family's travel plans.
Well, these are pretty good ideas.
So it's greeting the public. I mean, Linda, you're in front of the public a lot. Is that a concern?
I would think about that, but you know, when we were traveling in the NFL and we went into other countries, like we went to Japan, we had instructions on the plane of what to do and not to do. One thing, don't eat food on the street. That's considered very bad taste in Japan. So you follow the rules of the people you're with. So I think, and these are not, unless they're bad rules, these are good rules. So so that's not a bad thing.
The shellfish
'Cause shellfish
thing-
could be bad, couldn't it?
That's true.
In a country you don't know, prepared by people you don't know.
Yeah.
And they
sitting out.
probably have such a strict travel itinerary that if someone gets ill and can't travel, well, you're going to hold up the whole royal caravan at that point. But a friend of mine growing up, I remember her father was a hairdresser and he hated garlic. And he was Italian, but hated garlic, would not allow his daughter to eat garlic, and I imagine it's because as a hairdresser he was smelling it all
Yes.
day
Yeah.
on
Oh,
people.
yes.
It is one of those foods that stays with you.
It does.
But I wonder if
everybody
curry.
around you,
I wonder if
yes.
curry's allowed on the royal menu.
I would say no.
Yes.
I think you sweat curry.
That
don't
poor
you?
queen is having just cucumber sandwiches and
Oh, it's not
that's
nice
it.
to be queen, though, because you can order
It's nice to
everybody
be
else
queen.
around
It's
you not to
true.
eat
You know what? You can
garlic.
have garlic in the privacy of your own home. I understand. She's still allowed to cook with it, just not when they travel. Well, I guess it's not all the what maybe she had hoped.
Still pretty good.
All right, it'll still work for her. All right, well, you know that the water this is good for you as a culinary person, Tracy. The water that is left in the pot after you boil a hot dog, you know, of course, that water, you might also know its unmistakable odor. Well, a Canada man bottled that unfiltered hot dog water and sold it. And guess what? People at a festival bought it. Lots of people for $38. The bottle even came with a hot dog floating in it. It actually ended up being a prank, as the man was trying to show how we spend tons of money on bottled water just because we think it has health benefits.
And a lot of other things. A lot of other things we buy because we think they have health benefits. And we have no idea if that's really
This is true. That's right.
I think we're taken advantage of every day, and it's our own fault.
I'm Canadian, so I have nothing to say.
Yes, you will not pick on your people.
I haven't done it yet.
Yes. Well, I bought black water. I'm one of the people that bought the charcoal water when it came out, and I'm embarrassed to say all it did was just stain my teeth a little bit. Yes.
When I was at the Dead Sea, I bought Dead Sea water. And then somebody told me later, oh, that came from down the street at a faucet.
You know what? They ruin everything. All right. Well, no hot dog water for us, but it is time for our happy hour forecast. And when we come back, we're going to learn about an important service from the Friendship Centers.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your first alert weather update for this happy hour. Looking pretty good. Hot though. Temperatures right now into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Heat index close to 100 once again. And the pressure way up there, 30.09. We have a southwest wind at 10. That means we're not going to see many storms here along the coast as expected. High pressure eventually going to slip down south on, again, Wednesday and Thursday. That's going to change things up a bit. Today, that sea breeze was able to penetrate well inland, and you can still see some storms out there. They're basically moving off to the north now. Some of that may eventually get to the coast, but there's not as much chance. And notice, not as many storms around this afternoon as some slightly drier air has moved, and that high pressure is really starting to take over right now as it makes its journey down south into the Keys on Wednesday. And as far as our rain chances go, they'll be slim along the coast. It looks like tomorrow morning, better chances for storms inland in the afternoon. More on that coming up at 5. See you then.
The death of a spouse or a partner or the loss of a loved one is devastating. It's hard to go on without your loved one as if nothing ever happened when your whole world is shaken to the core. I know because that's the way I felt when my husband died. Fortunately, I got counseling and there was a support group that I could turn to talk about my loss and to get back on my feet. A lot of older people in our community are experiencing the same loss I had, but they've had no place to turn. And now the Friendship Center is starting a new program to offer help where there was no help before. Joining us is Robert Rogers, Director of Community Outreach at the Friendship Centers, and licensed mental health counselor Clark West. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thanks so much for having us.
So tell us about this new program.
So it basically started with 3 conversations. There's a lot of humanity in the genesis of this initiative.
And now it's for the gay, lesbian group.
It is. It's for
Say all those initials
LGBTQ plus
Yes,
older
yes.
adults in the community. And so I had 3 conversations initially with 3 different individuals who had lost their long-term partners. One couple had been together for, 61 years. And in addition to grieving, they shared with me that they felt lost, that they couldn't access any resources to help them through this process of grieving.
So you started the group. It meets what, once a week, this group?
So the support group, we have a discussion group and a grief and loss support group, and the support group meets once a week, every Tuesday from 6 to 7:15, and then we have a monthly discussion group that meets the second Wednesday of every month, 6 to 7:30 at the Friendship
Clark,
Centers.
as a mental health counselor, this must be a program that's desperately needed, a place where you can go and talk about your loss and find out that you are not alone in this.
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, Robert had first contacted me. I was doing another group for guys who were HIV positive here in the city, and he had mentioned to me basically these 3 men who had lost their partners, and I had in my own practice at that time a lot of people that I did not know where to exactly send them, to refer. And so we kind of got together and talked about it and got a lot of the members in the community together and ask ourselves, is this something that we really need? And we desperately need it, because my relationship with my husband, we'll be together 46 years soon. I've thought about this, like what happens to us when we get older. I'm 63 now, and dementia could happen, or we could have some health problems. I've lived my life out and proud for a lot of years. I don't want to end up having to go back in the closet. And I don't know what I'm going to expect if I have to go into an assisted living or a place where I don't know what to expect. And so I think a lot of us, my age and older, I think we're very concerned about this.
Oh yes, and when you've lost someone and you've been through so much together, because as older people, it goes back to when it was not even accepted in society.
Exactly.
So you've come over a lot of obstacles, and now the loss. This must be really hard to bear.
It is. It's unbelievable, yes.
What difference can the group make then?
So in a group dynamic, there's, in addition to the sense of community, these empathic conversations create a safe environment and really are transcendent for the participants, because this shared experience is very helpful to discuss in a group setting. Yeah, it's very helpful for all the participants.
Can you help us understand why specifically an LGBTQ group is important when you're discussing grieving?
So it's this nuanced conversation, because again, those initial conversations that I had, that was mentioned. They actually did find additional resources, but they weren't, again, that nuanced conversation that older adults in the LGBTQ community were looking for.
Yeah, it wasn't,
So I
well,
guess
this is not me, yeah.
Right, I mean, and I guess that's the best way to put it. I mean, it really is, it's a very nuanced conversation, and they share that common thread. Which again is very, very helpful. It's a safe, empowering environment.
Do you see it make a difference in the people who are going to the group?
Absolutely. I also participate in the support group. It's the broad definition of loss and grief. It's not just the loss of a spouse, for example, and again, it's transcendent. This group conversation, we empower each other, and we help each other move forward.
So Clark, this is very important to their mental health for people to go to this group if you haven't even thought about it.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that I think is very important to say is when gay people have been together in a relationship for a long time and one loses their partner, I think a lot of the community, the heterosexual community in particular, sometimes without really knowing it, they invalidate those relationships and say, well, that's not as important as our relationship is because you must not have the same pain. But that's ridiculous. We have the same pain. We've been together the same amount of time. We've grown up together. And, but I don't think that it's done in an evil way. I just think that it happens because sometimes our relationships don't feel as important as other relationships, and they are.
And then there's the discussion group
Yes.
that goes on. This can help too, right?
Yes,
Before
absolutely.
you get to that point.
And it's really interesting because the discussion group has actually acted as a catalyst, has provided, I guess, sort of an entry point to the support groups. At the first meeting there were probably, I was expecting 10 or 12 people, and 50 people showed up for the first discussion group. So obviously there's a glaring need in the community, but what's really beautiful, it's somewhat focused. You know, we have topics that we discuss that are relevant to older adults in the LGBTQ community, and once again, it's a safe, empowering, inclusive experience. So.
That's wonderful.
Really
Good things are happening in
Yes.
this world.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And thank Robert and the Senior Friendship Center for allowing us space.
Thank you, Friendship Center. And the Loss and Grief Support
Awesome.
Group meets
Really.
weekly. For more information, go to their website, friendshipcenter.org. Next, we'll chat with Tracy about what's going on and what's new at Edible Sarasota.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with a family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
My name is Luke Perry. and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
There are lots of great collaborations happening on the Suncoast food scene, and we can learn all about it in the new issue of Edible Sarasota. Our guest host, Tracy Freeman, is the editor of Edible Sarasota. Tracy, what are some of this coming issu's highlights?
This is a good one. This might be one of my favorites.
We got time to sit and read in the summertime.
We do, and you know, I'm hands-on, but I've never been so hands-on like I was with this issue. I've been out in the Gulf of Mexico 3 times for this issue.
Wow. Really?
Probably the best part was going out and dropping 30,000 clams into the Gulf of Mexico.
What?
Yes.
What did you do? Why did you do that?
I was so sore.
Dropping them in?
What does this do? What is the purpose?
The purpose of this is with the Sarasota Baywatch program, and these clams filter the water. They actually eat red tide.
Oh.
It's amazing. So scallops was the big thing. It was a scallop palooza. Yeah, that's us dropping the clams.
Wow. Nice outfit.
Yeah, we managed.
30,000
Yeah, 30,000 clams came off this truck, and we went out onto a barge into the middle of the Gulf of Mexico and dropped them with Mote marine scientists, and they were scuba diving and making sure they were all planted in the right place. And it's amazing. The program is so exceptional. They'll be doing about 8 more clam drops throughout the year. And
is there there's a shortage? Is that what's happening?
It's not. Well, yes, there's definitely a shortage of clams, but it's the Gulf. The Gulf really needs to be cleaned up.
You're really cleaning the Gulf by doing this.
Right, but then restoring the clam population at the same time.
So we're going to eat these someday?
Isn't that funny? It's that discussion.
You might find it on a restaurant menu, but it's not the purpose.
It's the discussion of the whole ecosystem of, you know, it'll take care of itself if it has the proper cycle.
Out of the way, yeah.
And we've seen red tide. So this is one of the big highlights of this issue is about this program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably our cover story.
Wow.
But we're also drinking and eating ice cream and cooking fish from head to tail. I mean, we've got it all. But yeah, the cocktails are kind of exciting too. We've paired with Crop, you know, the juice
Crop
bar,
juice.
and Spence from Cocktails by Spence. So you've got your healthy cocktail that's full of antioxidants while you're sitting by the pool.
I love this. We're sitting by the bay, watching the clams do their work.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been hard. It's been a struggle putting this together.
Wow. Well, it's a labor of love, and if you say that it's one of your favorites, I know that is a very big accolade because so many issues are phenomenal. You just keep topping yourself.
And I just have to thank my contributors, my photographers. We've just got an exceptional team right now, so I'm very proud of everybody.
All right. Well, you will want to keep an eye out for the new issue of Edible Sarasota. It is free. You can find the publication. It'll be out next week. And to find where you can pick it up, go to ediblesarasota.com. All right. Coming up next, an amazing Suncoast woman Linda's going to introduce us to from Sarasota Contemporary Dance.
Florida Studio Theater presents Always Patsy Cline, extended due to popular demand. A tuneful tribute, the story of Patsy's rise to stardom is told by her biggest fan. Featuring such hit songs as Walkin' After Midnight, I Fall to Pieces, Crazy, and many more you know and love. Critics are calling Always Patsy Cline a genuine hit. Audiences are calling it outstanding. Always Patsy Cline is now playing. Tickets can be purchased at 941-366-9000 or floridastudiotheater.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. Let's check back in the kitchen with Chef Brian from Vets to Success. And Brian, your program helps take veterans and get them into the culinary industry. You have a few different paths that they can take. Tell us about them.
You know, this originally started, myself being a chef, I was very, very blessed in my education. I have a double master's from France. And so I thought, you know, why not create something that is really classic technique? So we started off with Vet to Chef. It originally started as a 5-day boot camp, and then we realized that we probably should elaborate on this because it's starting to catch fire. And it went from a Vet to Chef program of five days to 12 weeks. Now we have a Vet to Baker program that's headed up by Chef John Esposito. He is a Marine Corps veteran from Vietnam. And then we have a Vet to Brew program set to launch, Vet to Agro, and a Vet to Coffee, actually.
Oh, wow.
So we're expanding all across the food and brew. Maybe we'll get some kombucha in there. We'll see what happens.
Oh, what a wonderful program. We're so glad to learn more about it. And if you would like to know more, you can visit Chef Brian, find out all that he is doing to help the local Suncoast vets. Go to vets2success.org. And Chef Brian will be joining you a little later on in the kitchen. Linda?
This will hold you spellbound. Sarasota Contemporary Dance brings cutting-edge dance of the very highest caliber to the Suncoast through performance, through education, and collaboration. And as the dance company has grown, founder and artistic director Lemus Boleros Wilmot, did I get Boleros right?
Bolaños.
Bolaños. It sounds so much better when you say it.
Next time.
You have come so far. I remember when I interviewed you when you were first starting the company.
Racquetball court and New College. That's
Yes,
what it was.
yes, 2002, was it then?
Yes.
Oh
We've
my.
come a long way.
Yes, you have. Tell me about Sarasota Contemporary Dance today.
Well, we're in our 13th season, and we just broke ground in our home in the Rosemary District and started offering classes in April. And it's just been like, I've been telling everyone, it's like heaven's gates open, and we're just like,
dancing your way up.
It's totally, it's been all the hard work and prayers and so many artists that have collaborated with us through the years. It's just really, I'm living my dream.
Well, describe Sarasota Contemporary Dance for people that haven't seen it.
Well, we're innovative. I feel like we do work that is purposeful. We are accessible. And I was just speaking with Charlotte Johnson's mom, Miss Debbie, and she was just saying you're multicultural, and you also do work for the common man. So I think that's what we're doing.
Yes. Well, we can understand what you're doing. So it's really, really needed in our community. Now, you do a lot of things. Tell me about the other things in your life.
Well, besides being a mom of two.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, I mean, we do so much. We are definitely community minded. We're teaching artists in the community. We do dance for Parkinson's. And now with our home, we get to offer just a variety of classes. Not only contemporary, but we're launching a class called A Chance Dance to Dance, which is a class for physically challenged children. And we just launched in April a class called Dances from the African Diaspora, taught by Professor Zabriskie from New College. So we're really doing things that we're bringing in the community to our studio at the Rosemary District, besides obviously doing high quality contemporary dance work.
And you have summer programs.
Yes, we do. We actually have our kids program in 2 weeks. And this is the first time that we're breaking it up in 2 segments. So we're doing like a beginners, and then we're doing an intermediate movers. And we actually are maxed out with our summer intensive for professionals, which also has an emerging choreographer component, which we're going to see Charlotte Johnson, one of my company members. She's one of the emerging choreographers that were chosen. And we have students, pre-professionals coming from all over, and we've done this now for 4 years. And the last 2 years, we can't accept any more people. We're maxed out.
Oh, it shows there was a need for it. Your new building, tell me about that. What's it going to be like?
Oh, well, it's a beautiful studio. I tell everyone it's our home. You know, it's first our home, so we want to make want everyone that comes in feels like they're being seen. So it's not just of the masses, and we're trying to do quality work. And we have an office, we have a small storage. We also are going to be doing an in-studio series program where we're showcasing artists at various stages, choreographers at various stages that can be trying something new, and we will showcase them, or someone that's already created a work and just wants another audience to see it with a Q&A. So really just doing things intentionally and getting people into our space to learn more about contemporary dance.
Now we're going to see one of the dancers. So tell me about what we're about to see.
Well, Charlotte Johnson is in her 2nd season with the company, and she's going to be choreographing for our summer participants. They'll get to work with Charlotte, and then it ends with the In the Round performance, which is our intimate. The audience is sitting in the round, and we showcase emerging choreographers. And the work that she's going to be showing, it's actually a new work. She's trying it on herself first. It's a personal story about spiritual warfare and being freed from that. And so today we're going to see her it's a work in progress, because then she'll be putting it on and actually working with the participants, and it might evolve. But it is coming from a personal, and that performance is July 28th at 2 and 7. So it's only 1 day.
So we'll see what happens between now and then. Okay, Charlotte, take it away. Wow! That is awesome, Charlotte. Unbelievable. You can see more contemporary dance with a guest choreographer performance coming up on July 20th and 21st at New College of Florida. For more information and for tickets, go to their website. Next, an action fantasy web series made right here on the Suncoast.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs right at home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call right at home. Get the right care right at home.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at 5 o'clock. More than 5,000 homes, new roads, and retail area are coming to Lakewood Ranch, where the people who oppose major developments like this think of this new project. Plus, Sarasota PD's new operation looking for impaired drivers both on and off of land. Let's get a check on the forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Thanks, Scott. High pressure continues to be the dominating influencing factor for our weather right now. It's pretty much right over the top of us. This high pressure ridge is going to move down to the south, and then eventually we're going to see more of a westerly wind, which will bring that heat index up to 100 to 105 degrees over the next several days with warm and muggy overnight conditions and not much rain to cool us down in the afternoon. And that's what we're seeing today. A few isolated storms well inland as that sea breeze has penetrated well east of I-75. It appears it will stay relatively dry this evening. More in the forecast at 5. See you then.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
We often ask why more movies aren't filmed here on the Suncoast. Well, now there is a brand new action fantasy web series being shot right here in Sarasota. This is the brainchild of Barry Gaines, CEO and founder of Gaines Entertainment. And joining him today is an actress from the show, Grace Vitale. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so Barry, that's a lot of things to come together.
Yes,
the action, fantasy, and a web series. What made you want to film it here?
I said, you know what, because here we have a lot of talent here. That's what's one thing. I mean, you can't have a series without talent. And then here in Sarasota, you have a lot of talent here, and I think, you know what, I said, this is a big show, and I just need a place where we can actually I can get all the tools and all the resources I need for something like this, and this town has everything I needed, so that was a perfect spot.
Oh, that's great to hear. And Grace, now you are one of the actresses in the series. Tell us about the story and how your character fits in.
Sure. So it takes place on a parallel universe called Rasir, and there is an evil warlord who wants to resurrect an even more evil warlord to take over the planet Rasir and the planet Earth. He just wants to rule everything. And in the meantime, there is a good character who wants to stop this all from happening, and she's a soldier. And so her job is to find 3 kings and 1 queen to stop the evil warlord from taking over the planets. And my character is very evil.
But you seem so nice.
I'm super nice in person.
So this is not a typical story that we've seen before. This is something, this is new, this is creative, cutting edge. Explain to us what goes into filming a web series.
Well, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot to do with, first of all, you have to find the people that will fit the characters you want, obviously. But not just that, it's work ethic as well, you know, because it takes a lot of time, you know, it takes a lot of dedication. And then on top of that, not just filming it, after you film it, then you have to edit, you have to do the color grading and everything else that goes along with it. And since ours is not like a drama or a thriller, and I love my dramas and thrillers, don't get me wrong, I love those. But this one has effects, so we need someone that can do the effects. So I have a gentleman in India doing the effects. I have another gentleman in Staten Island that's doing the music. So Mago Vignola and Prakash Kamajan, I give you guys some credit. Hello, thank you very much for being with us, And we've been doing this for about 3 years now.
Wow.
So we did the pilot first with the help of some local businesses here. And then we decided to say, you know what, we have to up it a little bit. So now we did 4 episodes.
Oh, wow.
That took us about a year and about maybe 2 months to do. So now we're in post-production on that. So now we just released episode 2, and we're working on the next 3 now. So it's something that people can look forward to. So if you look at it, you know it's 3 more coming your way.
And when you're looking at locations, have you found that the Suncoast businesses have been accepting about letting you come in to film?
They've been we've been very fortunate. I mean, right now, one of the businesses that really helped us out was Dolphin Aviation. They actually loaned us a plane.
Wow.
I mean, I can't get any better than that.
Oh, wow.
And then just to do our pilot episode, just to do a scene there, that was awesome. And then they had a wine bar that helped us out and a couple art centers,
Now, Linda is always looking for her next starring role. Are you still casting?
Yeah, Linda, you're in already.
The good queen.
Yes, you will be. We'll put you in there as the resistance. See, you'll be the mother of the resistance. How about that?
Oh, the mother of the
resistance.
Yes.
That's it. There you go. So look forward. That's it.
So what are your hopes for the series long term?
We really just want to get this into a streaming service. Try to get into Netflix or Amazon. Try to get it there because it's a big story. It's an epic story, and trying to get a story on a micro budget is not the easiest thing in the world. So it takes time to kind of get everything together and the funds together, but we're doing the best we can, and it's just us. There's nobody else. It's just, myself, the actors, and a couple of the post-production guys. So we're doing the best we could, and I think it's really, really cool what we're doing.
Well, it sounds like a labor of love, and we're glad you're doing it right here. If you would like to find out how you could watch the web series, how you could get involved, how you could possibly help raise money to fund the web series, I'm sure that Barry would love to hear from you. You can go to gainsentertainment.com. Coming up next, 2 local restaurants received a big honor. We'll tell you who they are.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Me, pick me. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man, I love technology. Hey, yo, check out my new phone. Look at this right here.
For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids, build great futures.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4, premiering Monday, July 2nd. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves him green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Well, we love when our local restaurants get some national praise, and 2 Sarasota restaurants ranked among America's best 100 al fresco eateries. You're probably familiar with both of them. The Columbia restaurant on St. Armand's Circle got some nice praise, and al fresco, I'll be honest, I had to look up because I wasn't exactly certain, dining in the cool air.
I'm glad you said that because
Yes.
I thought I was the only one that didn't know.
So the Columbia got some nice praise, and the other local restaurant that made that list was Ophelia's on the Bay.
I love both.
Great restaurants. And this was a list compiled by OpenTable.com, and it's the booking reservation service. 12 million online reviews they scoured. 27,000 restaurants, 25 were named in Florida, but only 2 here on the Suncoast.
Oh,
so
fabulous.
congratulations to the Columbia and Ophelia's
Yes.
for making that list. Always
I
good
look
news.
at Tracy because she knows all this stuff.
Yes.
And they deserve it, both of them.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
All right, well, another person who deserves some praise is Chef Brian from Vets to Success. We're going to be joining him in the kitchen. Don't go away.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC7, weekdays starting at 5.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
This is an ABC7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. The mosquito-borne Keystone virus has been detected in Florida for the first time. What researchers say to look out for if infected by the virus. Taking a quick look at first alert traffic right now, the right lane of US 41 heading northbound is blocked due to a stalled vehicle at Haben Boulevard. This is causing some congestion on 41 until you get past that area. Now let's get a check on our first alert weather forecast with Bob.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Not many storms around this afternoon as a result of the high pressure ridge, which is slowly moving down to the south now. And as it does so, we're going to see a little bit of a change in a timing of storms. Maybe a few coastal showers in the morning and into the early afternoon, but mainly late afternoon and evening storms will be in the interior portion of the state. And we'll have an update on a tropical system that may be popping up off the Carolina coast. Details on all that coming up at 5. See you then.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Ray Collins. Some Stoneman Douglas students are on a national tour to push for more gun control and voter registration. We'll tell you where they plan to rally tomorrow in downtown Sarasota on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
A ridge of high pressure sinks south, changing our rainfall pattern. We'll talk about that bright and early tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. more ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert Weather app today.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Coming up Wednesday at 4 on Suncoast View, it is one of the hottest topics of discussion here on the Suncoast, and we're going straight to the source. We'll talk to the leaders of the Sarasota Bayfront Planning Organization about what comes next in the Bay Master Plan project. Plus, Mixin Fruit Farms talks about the future of bamboo. Choral artists of Sarasota join us, and Philippi Creek Oyster Bar is in the kitchen.
Welcome back. We're here with Brian from Vets to Success. And what are we making today?
We are about to get our zoodle on.
Our zoodle on.
I can get my zoodle on.
Yeah.
Never had a zoodle.
So if you've never zoodled before, it's there's this whole craze. You know, everybody loves carbs, but the carbs don't necessarily love you. Mm-hmm. And living on the Suncoast, I always ask for, do you have anything without carbs? So this is that dish that's going to give you that cake and eat it too. Mm-hmm. And it's something super simple. It's a little machine, and this is probably the best Christmas gift I got as a chef, because I didn't know I could play with this and just have fun. It's very entertaining. Now, we're going to get over here, we're going to start zoodling. Now, zoodling is it's like a noodle, but it's made from, guess what? Vegetables.
Oh, zucchini.
And now you can pick these up in Publix, and they're already sliced, and there's a little prepackaged piece here for, because you get time, you know, everybody's about time, and this is a little summer squash and zucchini, and so this is yellow, and it's green, so it's fun. A little shorter strands, but I love to zoodle in bigger strands because it's got just a beautiful pasta-like look to it.
It does.
And it's just amazing. And to me, that gives a dish volume, it gives a dish some love, and it makes it more of an experience. And
I like this too because I love shrimp scampi, but I don't usually order it because I'm trying to make a healthier decision. So this will
this will take away that. Exactly. So this is kind of have your cake and eat it too.
All right. So you've got Linda on the zoodler.
Yeah, we're going to start it out. It's very simple. We're going to take a regular piece of zucchini and we're going to go right through the center. And you're going to push in here, press, and then we're going to pull our zoodle piece here, and then you're just going to turn.
You sit home and do this every night.
Yeah, I do. This is like one of my hobbies now.
Okay.
And so you're going to get into that, and we're going to get started over here. Now, this side of the house is going to be a lot more action station. Now, I've added a couple pieces into here, and this is some shallot, which I love shallot. And being a French background, shallot goes in everything. I can't help it. Now we're going to brunoise the shallot. Have you ever brunoise shallot?
What am I going to do to it?
Brunoise.
Yes, we can brunoise. I can brunoise.
Brunoise makes it very small. So we're going to make it very small. Now she's got a beautiful sharp knife there, and we're going to make sure that she gets in there. Now I'm going to start this dish off. Now this dish starts off pretty quickly. Now I'm using avocado oil because I'm a fan of avocado oil.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not zoodling anymore.
Oh, you keep zoodling. What do we do? So we got to give a little pressure here. We're going to come back in here. We're going to.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Let's bring him back to the avocados.
Little muscle included here. I'm sorry.
So Chef Brian, why avocado oil?
You know, I actually, from a healthy standpoint, it's got a lot of great the mono and polysaturated fats, not as much fatty fats, and so it's a great substitute. And someone who likes to stay in shape and eat this, you can eat this raw and plain onto a salad. Very versatile oil versus having a vegetable oil or Crisco, something of that nature.
All right, great. Let's get started.
So I'm going to go right in. Now this smoke point's going to be very high.
Ready?
Because not yet. You're not yet. We're going to get the shrimp first.
Okay.
So we're going to saute. Now saute. What does saute mean? What does saute mean?
What does saute mean? We're going to just fry it up here a little bit.
Yeah, it's really quick. Really quick. Really quick. This dish takes 5 minutes.
Especially with shrimp.
We've done a little bit of garlic. How are you zoodling over there? Good?
I think she's good.
I did get the steer in with the zoodles.
Throw me some shallot in there. Oh, that's
there you
love.
Go, baby.
That's love. Now I'll give it a nice little stir. Now this is the great part. See, garlic has a lot of sugar in it, and that's why it turns brown on you.
Okay.
And so you have to have an acid.
Real quick.
Yeah, to get that love back into it.
Where's the wine?
Where's the wine? Always got the wine.
That's the trick?
Yeah, this is the trick. This or some kind of lemon juice, tomatoes. We're going to do a little bit of both. We're going to let this become a little pink and vibrant. Now for this dish, I used a 1620, which is a peeled and deveined shrimp. That's what it means. 1620 means there's about 16 to 20 in a pound.
Okay.
So you can go to your local seafood, like any 1620s. You sound really knowledgeable.
Yeah.
They'll be like, I got you, no worries.
Those are the good ones?
Those are good ones. Now we're gonna hit this with a little smoked paprika because I love a little smokiness in this. You can't go wrong there. A little red pepper flake, can't go wrong. Now I like a little heat in mine. Obviously not everybody is in my kind of palate. And Himalayan pink salt.
Oh,
now
yes.
a lot of people are jumping on this craze, and this is great because this is wonderful.
All right, Chef, we are coming up on our last minute here, but I love the info we're getting. I'm learning more about how to cook shrimp today than I feel like I've learned in my lifetime.
Me too.
We're gonna finish up right here. Hot pan, yet again. Zoodles go down.
All right, so as Chef is finishing up the healthy shrimp scampi, don't forget you can find this entire recipe online at mysuncoast.com. Great work you're doing with Vets to Success. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to follow all of the new programs that you have coming out. And also, if you want to see Sarasota Contemporary
There you
Dance,
go. Look at
specifically
you.
see Charlotte Johnson, who performed earlier, that performance is on July 28th.
Yeah, little
So you
parsley,
can
yeah.
find more information at SarasotaContemporaryDance.org. Tracy, thank you so much for being here. We've got our eyes out for the new Edible Sarasota magazine. We're going to dive into some zoodles. You take some time. Enjoy the Suncoast view.